Is the coronavirus going to affect your motorcycle world? Catch you inside.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. Hope you're enjoying the channel and the series of videos. Please like, share, subscribe, leave those comments below. Check out the website RevelatorAlf.com and click the bell next to the subscribe button for all future videos. So in this video I'm talking about, yes, this COVID-19, this coronavirus that has gone all over the world. We all know about it in terms of its infection rates and all that kind of stuff. We've got to wash our hands and keep ourselves all separate. But how's it actually going to affect you and I, the rest of the motorcycle world, in fact, the rest of society? One of the big issues is not only how it spreads and the medical impact it has on the public at large, the elderly, the very young, and also the medically infirm, but it's also the impact that it has on the economy. Now, we already know, we've already seen that the stock market has gone into meltdown over this in many different quarters. It's very volatile in lots of different ways. If we want to bring it to motorcycles, Harley-Davidson stock prices have taken a hammering, not only because of their own internal performance, but also this coronavirus has created this whole lack of confidence in the whole market, as it were. We've also noticed that lots of dealerships around, especially in Europe and the Far East, have either struggling, they've had to close down temporarily, their doors closed down, or they've had to restrict the amount of people that come into the dealerships as well. So trade is down on all quarters, not just in motorcycle circles, but in all quarters. Now, interestingly enough, right now, the United States government, Donald Trump, has stopped all flights going from Europe into the United States because of trying to restrict the transmission of the coronavirus into the United States. It would seem like a reasonable plan to me, and many would argue, why wasn't this done a lot sooner for European countries as well to stop this virus coming over from China? However, that's a side issue. Another interesting thing is that Daytona Bike Week has been going on, and people were asked at the Daytona Bike Week, you know, what do you think of coronavirus? And they're saying, yeah, it's fine, it's got nothing to do with us, we're absolutely fine. Couple of issues here. So first of all, that's what a lot of people have thought. Yeah, be stoic, just carry on. But the problem is with that becomes a little bit complacency and a little bit of lack of knowledge of how these things transmit. And we know it's by touch. We know it's by close quarters, so it can be airborne, it can be water droplets, that kind of thing, transmission. So, you know, you really got to keep your distance. We as bikers, we like to get in close and personal, we like to give each other hugs and, you know, all that kind of touchy-feely sort of stuff as well at times. And the problem is that's how it spreads, and it's like wildfire. Now, we also know at any kind of motorcycle event as well, it can be, it depends how busy it is, of course, how popular it is, it can be quite close quartered as well. So this is rife for any kind of infection and kind of virus to spread around. Now, how will this affect future motorcycle events over the next 2 or 3 months? Well, we're already seeing in Europe, mainland Europe, but also in the UK, sporting fixtures being played, either cancelled, postponed, or being played behind closed doors. They're not allowing an audience or the crowd to attend the games. This is now probably going to extend to all gatherings of people. In fact, a couple of European countries have actually done that, France notably as well. Italy is on a national shutdown as well, restricting movement of all people in all situations. So how does this affect any future motorcycle events? Well, actually, this could be a catastrophic impact on any kind of event in terms of the economy of these events, because actually There could be limitations on any sort of gatherings. These limitations could mean that they're either postponed or they're cancelled, but also it could create a lack of confidence within the event goers, i.e. you and I, who may not wish to go to them. They may not wish to buy tickets or may wish to get refunds, so on and so forth. It's a very fluid situation, it's a very volatile situation right now, just like the stock market in many ways, that this coronavirus is causing. It's one of those things that you have to try and be as sensible with this as you can. Take precautions. Yes, not fan the flames of panic, but at the same time take sensible precautions as well. There are going to be probably some tough times ahead. Now, there are, in the UK, we're trying to go through this delay tactic, trying to delay the spread of the virus so that it can reach the warmer temperatures next month, in April, May and June, where the virus is a lot less likely to be readily transmittable, and also that the medical services can actually start to cope with the influx. Again, that's what is hoped. We'll have to see how that works out as well. We're not sure how it's going to, if it's going to start rising again in China. They're saying that their numbers are falling. We're not sure how it's going to affect matters in Italy, where we've seen the biggest incidents in mainland Europe right now. Obviously, it's all happening all over the world right now. It is spreading, but it's going to be the economic impact, not only locally and individually, but also from businesses, organizations as well. The key is, if you are symptomatic, if you do have symptoms, or if you do think that you've come into contact, you need to isolate yourself. Okay, that's the whole reason why we don't get mixing with other people when there's a virus of any kind, because you want to stop the spread of infection. That's why the plague was so prevalent in its day, because actually they didn't know a lot about public health care, they didn't know a lot about isolation, so on and so forth. The plague is one thing in itself, but it's actually because people were still allowed to mix together. That's what caused the mass spread of it. And it's exactly the same with any virus, any kind of contagion. Isolate, keep yourself isolated. Get yourself tested by means of the public health bodies wherever you are, and then you can actually work through the process. But it's going to take a few months at least, maybe longer, for this to sort out. But we pretty much, the longer this goes on, especially we get into spring and summer events, lots of these are probably going to be affected as well. If there's any more news on this, then I will come back to you as soon as I can. But for now, just keep as updated as you can with the situation wherever you are. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave those comments below, check out the website, and click the bell next to the subscribe button. Bye now.
RevelatorAlf.